Hi everyone, welcome back to Higher Consciousness with DJ. Today's topic is about decisions. What are decisions? Why we make the same decisions and why we always make the same mistake. Decisions are actually the third meta program in our brain. So what is a meta program? A meta program is actually simply as a filter in your brain that what it does is actually deletes information, distorts information, or generalizes information for you to move forward with your life. That is basically what it is. Why it's so important to talk about meta programs? Because meta programs are the 95% of us in our unconscious mind. Once again, first one, deepest in our brain is our values. What is important to us is what matters to us. Number two is our beliefs, the belief systems that divide humanity until now and creates lots of conflict in the external world. Number three is our decisions, and that's why we're talking about this today, because our decisions are a replica of our past. Write the comments below if you actually have something to say about that. But in reality is the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And for some people that have not come present to that quote, is not only a quote, but also a phenomena that happens in our brains every day. We actually make the same decisions 24/7. The way you wake up, the way you brush your teeth, the way you eat, the way you do everything is who you become. Mahatma Gandhi said, right? Our thoughts become our words, and our words become our actions, and our actions become our habits. Lastly, our habits become our destiny. Bottom line is basically our beliefs are the first thing that we think of at the top. Then that becomes words. I am not good enough. Well, that is double strength of why you actually thinking, because you also said it. This is the reason why we don't spell on anyone or us ourselves prominently. We want to be careful what we say, because that becomes real. That becomes an action after, right? When people start going on and on and on and why me, and why it actually keeps happening to me is because you haven't learned the lesson, as you know. Number two, you're actually not conscious yet. People think they're conscious, but unfortunately the unconscious mind is disconnected from the conscious mind. How do I know that? Because if people were connected completely, then they would not make mistakes. And that 1 million times stronger than the front of your head conscious part knows everything about you. The best version that you have always dreamed of about you is just at the back of your head. All the answers you need are within yourselves. I love doing this because the more we master ourselves, the better world we're gonna have for our kids. What is the difference between unconscious versus an unconscious decision? The unconscious decisions are the ones that you already know you will do automatically. XYZ outcome comes along. You're always gonna be very similar to the last one. Okay, so that decision that you don't even think about, that's unconscious, versus when you are on a discovery journey or self-development journey, whatever you want to call it, spiritual journey, you start really coming present to the fact that a lot of things that happen to you just make sense only when you look back and you see how great you are now, how much wiser you are, how much mature you are, how much you've grown. That's the moment what I want you to focus on. That if you were not listening to this video now and you were not ready to hear this now, there is no way from a divine point of view, in divine timing, you would have not been listening to this right now. That's my biggest guarantee, that if you are listening to this video today, is because it's meant for you, right? And all I want you to do is to know that moving forwards, you want to make sure that you know that you're making a conscious decision, which is what I'm going to talk about now. When do I know I'm making a conscious decision? When I know that if I go always right, I'll go left this time. If I'm always late for work, I'm gonna make sure today consciously that I'll get to work 5 minutes or 10 minutes earlier, right? If I never put myself first, because it's family first, his kids, his husband, his boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., work, and you last, today is the day that you make a decision, conscious decision to say, I'm going to put myself first. And you do whatever you need to do that it will improve your life on a mental, physical, emotional, spiritual level, energetic level. That's the difference. So guys, I thought this was really, really valuable for those ones that are really like caught up in the lives. You set up for that life that you were told you were meant to have. But now is another way. There is always a way. See you next time, guys. Don't forget to follow and share this video with those ones that could be, impacted by these words of wisdom.